Coming up next in the middleweight division, the boys are getting heavier and heavier as Dushan Burale takes on Sameer Dhiman. For the fun introductions, let's go inside the ring to Jared Kyle.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the cage, Sameer Dhiman.
Ladies and gentlemen, there we have Sameer Dhiman walking around the size of a mountain. He was
Guys are not.
Well, Arjun, I want to ask you, how would you feel if you were standing next to Sameer Dhiman?
Well, I did stand next to him, and I can still happily say that I'm a little bigger than him.
And his opponent, Dushan Burale.
एक और MFN कंटेंडर्स के स्नातक
Go inside the ring to Jared Kyle.
Ladies and gentlemen, first we introduce the blue corner. He weighed in at 83.4 kilograms, representing Delhi. Give it up for Sameer Dhiman. And his opponent, fighting out of the red corner. He weighed in at 83.4 kilograms, representing Maharashtra. Give it up for Dushan Burale! Ladies and gentlemen, as the action begins, the referee for the fight, Ranjit.
follow my instruction all the time. If I stay stop, stop the fight. If you want to touch gloves, back to your corners.
चलिए करते हैं इस मिडलवेट बाउट की शुरुआत. बहुत ही एक्साइटिंग बाउट होने वाली है. एंड अर्जुन तने, I must tell you, I love heavy.
Rahul, why are you? The first thing you noticed here, I wish you guys were cage side here with me. Rahul is smiling end to end the minute the middleweights came out. Because आप जानते हो कि the power differential is immediate.
It's immediate, and I love to see big boys fighting. There's going to be a lot of strikes thrown here, and it's going to be an absolute war. Just look at it. And I think what Sameer needs to do is go in for an early finish and surprise Dushan, because Dushan, I know he's an excellent wrestler, and I think Sameer here is trying to execute the same game plan. He's trying to hit the bullseye.
Absolutely. Sameer is a first-round expert, and Dushan, who, fun fact, is coming back after an 18-month hiatus from competitive fighting.
It's going to be interesting to see how much ring rust that he brings back into the cage. But so far, so good, as both these men seem patient, standing in the center, waiting for the. Oh, you know what? I'll tell you something, boys. Shin on shin is like hitting two pieces of metal together. Nobody wins, everybody gets hurt. Beautiful inside leg kick. We saw the same thing that Himanshu Kaushik was doing a little earlier ago against Musa. Beautiful kick to the body. Beautifully set up. I love that body kick to the front. Slow and steady. It's a great way to separate, keep some distance from your opponent. Oh, big left hook there. He needs to keep his hands up while he throws that shot.
Sameer certainly has got that killer instinct with him.
Nice inside calf kick. Sameer
समीर पूरी कोशिश कर रहे हैं कि एकदम जॉ पे पंच लगे and he delivers a knockout here.
Dushan Burale, though, staying patient. Both these men have great respect for each other's skills. Beautiful inside flick, trying to find its mark, finds its mark beautifully on the rear leg of Saleh. But Saleh again trying to get him back with that inside leg kick. Both fighters keeping the distance, switching stances.
Absolutely, and you know the one thing that I like about Sameer is that for a man who is at his weight, he used to fight at light heavyweight, but is still comparatively a lot more technical than many LSWs.
Very nicely done. Very nicely done by Dushan Burale, who's changed levels and taken his opponent down. And this is what we meant. He needed to show the threat of the takedown and ground and pound from this position.
Vicious ground and pound. This fight could be called off any time.
Sameer Dhiman is in a bad way if he doesn't change his position. Referee Ranjit has seen enough, and that's all she wrote, ladies and gentlemen. Dushan Burale has done it. He wins this fight, takes his opponent down, immediately wins this fight by ground and pound. Great performance by Dushan Burale.
Absolutely stellar performance there by Dushan. Sameer is still on his knees.
MFN में मिडलवेट डिवीजन का उद्घाटन करते हुए दुशान बुराले बहुत ही बेहतरीन जीत हासिल की है आज समीर के अगेंस्ट में. जैसा कि अर्जुन और तने हमने बताया था कि इनकी जो पावर, जो इनकी टेक्निक है, it has to be wrestling based because he's been an excellent wrestler.
No, but that's what happens sometimes. You know, people forget that this is the sport of MMA. And it's not just kickboxing, and you can see that they started off beautifully with some good body kicks, inside kicks by Dushan Burale. Both fighters exchanged some good shots and found a little bit of success. Beautiful left hook there earlier by Sameer Dhiman. But as the minute he shot for that double, he caught him, took him down to the mat. And Sameer had no answer for this barrage of strikes. Ground and pound with no answer, no improvement in position by Sameer. And referee Ranjit had seen enough and called an end to this beautiful middleweight contest.
And look at the Kusti style. Is at his weight. He used to fight at light heavyweight, but is still comparatively a lot more technical than many LSWs.
Very nicely done. Very nicely done by Dushan Burale, who's changed levels and taken his opponent down. And this is what we meant. He needed to show the threat of the takedown and ground and pound from this position.
Vicious ground and pound. This fight could be called off any time.
Sameer Dhiman is in a bad way if he doesn't change his position. Referee Ranjit has seen enough, and that's all she wrote, ladies and gentlemen. Dushan Burale has done it. He wins this fight, takes his opponent down, immediately wins this fight by ground and pound. Kickboxing, and you can see that they started off beautifully with some good body kicks, inside kicks by Dushan Burale. Both fighters exchanged some good shots and found a little bit of success. Beautiful left hook there earlier by Sameer Dhiman. But as the minute he shot for that double, he caught him, took him down to the mat. And Sameer had no answer for this barrage of strikes. Ground and pound with no answer, no improvement in position by Sameer. And referee Ranjit had seen enough and called an end to this beautiful middleweight contest. I love Kushti too.
And there we have one of the most reputed coaches, Coach Mike.
Celebrating with his fighters because you can see him smiling year to year. He's had a good night so far. A lot of his fighters, apart from the unfortunate Bon Jovi injury though. But that fight was so sad. It was shaping up to become so amazing. It was shaping up to become such an amazing fight. I had such hopes for that fight, but sadly injuries are a big part of MMA, and sometimes injuries happen. But we move on as the number of finishes in this card continue. It's been incredible from start to finish. But let's quickly go inside the ring for the final announcement.
Ladies and gentlemen, Ref Ranjit called a stop to the fight after 2 minutes and 9 seconds of round one. For your winner by TKO, Dushan Burale.
And your winner, Dushan Burale, has done it. Beautiful strategy employed by him. Landed some great strikes standing. Saw his opening, switched levels.